Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to the Expert Brew. I'm so excited to dive into your questions about Thinkific, e-learning, marketing, AI, automations. If we haven't met yet, hello, everyone. Welcome to. Oh, there's my volume up. If we haven't met, I'm Kim, better known as Brainy Girl, and I've been a tech and digital marketing specialist since 2001, and one of the first recognized Thinkific experts since 2015. So what is the Expert Brew? Every 2 weeks, I run this live stream for members of my free community, which is called the Uncourse Business Community. I also do AI experiments that the members have access to and lots of other perks. So if you're not yet a member, I do encourage you to click on the link below and join us. So the goal of the Expert Brew is to get you unblocked, unstuck, and moving forward in your online education business. To make sure that we get through as many questions as possible, I do ask that you keep the questions focused on things like strategy, clarity, quick troubleshooting. If you have highly complex technical issues or a very unique scenario that requires a deep audit of your business, I will recommend that you book a one-on-one consult so I can give that problem the full attention it deserves. The link to book that is in the description below. I also want to respect everyone's time and make sure we're not going down a rabbit hole on one single issue that's only relevant to you. So also keep in mind that this is often live streamed to YouTube or other platforms. So if you would like to remain anonymous, you might not want to hop on the screen with me. So now that the housekeeping is done, we're ready to get started. So I've dropped the link to join me on the screen in the chat if you want to. Otherwise, you can just type your questions into the chat bot or the chat box, and one of my team members is on here to help me moderate as well. So welcome. Please feel free to introduce yourself. Let me know who is here. Looks like Barbara's here with us. Awesome. Thank you. Barbara, did you want to hop on screen? Do you have a question for me that you would like to start with? We'll just give her a minute because there's a bit of a lag in the live stream here. And we can talk anything. We can talk landing pages. We can talk Thinkific. We can talk e-learning. We can talk AI. We can talk automations. Just click on the link in the chat at the very top there, Barbara, and then you'll be able to, or you should be able to, hop on the screen with me. And you don't have to have your camera on if you don't want. If you're hanging out in your jammies or it's late where you are or whatever, you don't have to have your camera on if you'd prefer not to. We can just do voice as well. We'll give Barbara a minute to see if she can hop on and join us here. In the meantime, I'll tell you a little bit about why I am sort of going all in on this idea of the Uncourse business. Things are changing very rapidly in the e-learning department. Obviously with AI and what has happened, there is more potential than ever to be able to really excel in the e-learning space. It is a massive market and one that again, has a lot of opportunity. But if you're not using AI to your advantage and to help you in your business, unfortunately, I very much believe that those who aren't using it are going to fall behind somewhat. You can keep doing things the way that you have always done them, and that is totally fine. But most of your competitors will be using it, and so they are going to speed ahead. So I have spent the majority of this year automating my business and heavily using AI in my business. And in November alone, I was able to save about 60 hours in the month, 15 hours a week by using AI and automations for this purpose. Barbara, are you able to join? Are you having any luck there? Let me see if I can copy this link again. I'm going to throw it down here. and see if you can open the panel to join there. I think I may have actually put the wrong link in there. So hopefully this one will work for you. And if anyone else would like to, if you have a question, if you want to hop on with me live, this is my 1 hour of expert advice, and it's not costing you a dime. So I would encourage you to ask away. And for those of you who have just joined, this is where we do quick troubleshooting, clarity, strategy, things like that, that might help you move forward in your e-learning business or your online course business. There we go. Barbara, can I show you on screen? Are you good with coming on with me? Yes? Fabulous. Hi, Barbara.
Hi.
Hi, so nice to see you.
I know. New hairstyle, hey? That's chemo for you.
Listen, I love it. Bless your heart. You're doing an amazing job. I'm right with you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So just for others, I specialize in a topic, so I feel I'm very good on my content, but my tech has been a very slow learning curve. So I lack some of the basic understanding. And the thing that's kind of blocking me at the moment is I got an email from Kit, which you set up, the Convert Kit, for my email list. And it's something about it's integrated with Thinkific, but I thought I already was. But it seems to say, turn something off and turn something on. And I was paralyzed with fear in case I closed down all the email automations you brilliantly set up for me.
Yeah. So for those of you who don't know, Barbara is a client of mine from years ago now. We set up her Thinkific site and got her online. Barbara was completely tech terrified when we started together. I mean, tech paralyzed is actually what you were, I think. And it was a big learning curve, and you totally took it on. And I am so proud of you, because the things that you could do now, you were so scared to even attempt back then. So there is hope for people who are tech paralyzed, tech scared, and all of those things. I just wanted to say that first and commend you, because you really took on that learning and you've done a phenomenal job. So
thank you. But I think also the language limits me very much. So when people use abbreviations or language, I have to Google it. What's that mean? What's a direct message DM? I just learned that today. And I've just learned today how to do a video transcript, which I guess everybody knows how to do. But for me, it's just another world. So every day's a school day for me, for sure.
And I think for most people in this industry, they are, right? Like, just because you make great apple pies doesn't mean you should own a bakery. And if you're going to own that bakery, then you need to know every aspect, unfortunately, of that apple pie making. Do you have to do it all yourself? Not necessarily. You can hire people. You can use AI and automations to help you. But yeah, language is a huge piece of it. And I think there's a lot of people, I will address your question, Barbara, but I think there's a lot of people who don't give themselves enough credit and think that someone else is better, or I should be able to do this because I own a business. And I'd like to just debunk that myth, because it's just not true. All of these things are new. And with the way technology moves, which is very quickly, you are still having to keep up and learn every day. I've been doing this how many years now? 25 years now. And I still calendar in a minimum of 2 hours every week for learning, keeping up on what's happening, learning new things. That's the only way I stay up to date in this industry. If I didn't, I wouldn't be able to coach and teach other people how to do it. So I think part of it is the mental holding back of oneself and not giving oneself enough credit. And it's a bit of bravery too. And it's resourcefulness, right? You had to Google that. You had to use Perplexity or ChatGPT or whatever to do that. And that's the way that you learn. So if you don't let that hold you back, you can keep moving forward. Okay, so let's address your question now about Kit. This is a really good topic, and I should actually probably do a whole other video about this. But basically, there has always been a Kit Thinkific integration. The integration has now changed, though. So for those of you who might not know, Kit is a external email service provider. So we hook it in with Thinkific, so we can send email sequences, email broadcasts. Everyone who does something on our Thinkific site goes into Kit. It was previously called ConvertKit. You may have heard of ConvertKit. So the integration previously was that we would tell Thinkific, if someone enrolls in course A, I want you to add this tag and send them over to ConvertKit, right? That's always how it's been. I think it was a few months ago that they changed this integration. Those of us on the legacy haven't been forced to move over, but it sounds like they're moving in that direction now. The new Kit Thinkific integration, I have to say, I am not a fan of at all. We have a lot less control, in my opinion, about what happens. But basically what happens is we don't do anything in the Thinkific side. Thinkific automatically, if we have that connection, sends those users over to Kit. And then in Kit, we have to decide what we want to do with them. So in my opinion, you have less control over that. I like the ability to tag someone the way I want to tag them, send them over to Kit, and that automatically happens. But with this new integration, or the new way of doing this integration, we don't have that option anymore. So the big thing to keep in mind, I have clients who moved over to the new integration, and then Kit basically emailed everyone on their lists and all of their automations went haywire. So then Kit, yeah, it was a major nightmare. So then Kit, Thinkific integration, when you go to move over to this new integration, there is now a screen that asks you what you want to do when you move over. Do you want to do all the historical imports, meaning anything that happened before this date in Thinkific? Do we want to move those people over to Thinkific or over to Kit, or do we not want to do that? And in general, we don't want to do that because we've already been doing an integration, right? So I think what I'll do, Barbara, because it is probably a big question for people on exactly how to do this and how to do it properly if you do or don't want this to happen, I think I'll make a separate video. I'll try and do that this week. And I don't know what did it say what the timeline was when you got the email?
It didn't really tell me I had to do it by a date, and being on the legacy, I've just left it until I talked to you. So I didn't know, but now I'm thinking, I'm so glad I didn't, just press the button.
Yeah. I had a client who has a very large subscription base, and she did this before they introduced that new screen, and she had emails firing and automations that it was just an absolute nightmare. So then I guess with the feedback, they brought in this new screen that gives us a slight amount of control more than we had before. So yeah, I think I will do a whole video on that because I think it deserves it. And I have a ton of customers and clients and students who use the Kit Thinkific integration. So I think that would probably be a good thing to do, Barbara. So I would say, I don't think there's like a strict deadline. I know they're moving in that regard, but if it happens this week, you're going to be fine. So I'm going to do a whole video. I think it's a great topic. Thank you for bringing that up. And I'll do a public video on YouTube. So as long as you're subscribed to the channel, is my mic okay? Dante, can you tell me if my mic's okay?
Glitched then, but I can still hear you.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so as long as you're subscribed to my YouTube channel, you should and get notifications, then you'll get a notification when I let this out. And it applies to everyone. It won't be for a particular scenario. I'm just going to kind of explain the integration and then how to move over relatively seamlessly.
I love that because I can then go back through the video time and time again and figure it out slowly at my pace. Absolutely.
And that's important, right? You need to be able, this is part of the challenge with, Dante says it's echoey. Let me just, give me 1 second. I just want to change my, one sec. Okay, let's see if that brought it back. Is that any better?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Part of the challenge with some of these SaaS companies, which is software as a service, is often they roll out features before they may be fully tested by users for all different scenarios. And it's not unique to Thinkific and not unique to Kit. This happens with SaaS across the board. I mean, there's some that are great that just don't do that. You get the new feature, it's seamless, everything's good, but not always. And this was one of those scenarios that I think they rolled it out too soon. Does it still sound echoey, Dante? He's just telling. Does it sound echoey to you, Barbara?
Yeah, you've gone back to being echoey. It was kind of clearer, and then it's kind of gone a bit echoey again.
What the heck is going on? Okay, I'm going to try one more thing. There we go. How is it now?
So much better.
Beautiful. Okay, thanks. This was one of those features that I think they rolled out too soon without fully understanding all of the potential implications of that. So the best we can do now, I mean, the best thing that you can do as far as I'm concerned, and I'm going to riff with you here for a little bit, Barbara, because I don't see any other questions coming in. So I think you've got me here for a little bit.
I'm so lucky. I only had this question. I thought I'd get my head around one thing. That would be good.
Absolutely. But it's nice to be able to have some time and have some face-to-face, right?
Yeah, definitely.
We don't always get that. So the best thing, in my opinion, that you could do, I mean, I use 40 different SaaS products, plus other apps and things like that. And what I have learned in my time is that new features, we get shiny object syndrome about. We go, oh, there's a new feature, let me try it. And it's probably the worst thing that you can do when it first rolls out, unless you are with a SaaS that tests every potential scenario possible before they roll it out. And there's only a handful that I can count that I would actually be able to do a new feature. They release a new feature and I go, yep, we're good to go. No problem. The majority of them, I would not jump on new features. I would let them be, let them rest for a little bit. It's always exciting, but often they roll out before I feel like they're ready to fully roll out.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I think like Kit and the email side, when I was first introduced to it, as a lecturer and educator, I couldn't understand the point of it. It didn't occur to me because I don't do marketing. I've had to learn all of that. Yeah. But now I see it as like an invaluable tool. But it is my nemesis. It's the bit that I kind of think, oh, Kim is expert at this. I will get her to do this rather than me struggling. So all the automations you've done have been, I get such great feedback from the email sequences you set up for me. So I really do. People really actually believe I'm writing to them individually. Yes. It's amazing.
Yes. And we don't, when we're doing it, we don't necessarily understand that not everyone, we don't remember that not everyone lives in this industry, right? A huge percentage of the world don't deal with email marketing. No. And so they wouldn't think that that was a automated sequence that's going out to everyone, maybe personalized in some ways. But I think that's one of the greatest compliments that you can get is when you have someone who replies to one of your automated emails.
They do. I get lots of replies and thank you so much for it. And I'm just like, wow, so it's really working. I think the other thing is there's a piece of tech I feel has got a lot more potential, but I don't quite know maybe its full potential for what I use is Tally. So I've got a few Tally forms, but I'm loving them. But I'd really like to have more skills on how I could use them in slightly different ways. I'm kind of stuck in using it just as a questionnaire. You know, and I'm sure it's a bit like a lot of the other tech. I suddenly have this moment where I go, oh my goodness, I could use it this way.
Yeah.
So
I think you brought up something really important here, and that is sometimes we have to pick and choose where we're going to spend our energy.
Yeah.
And some things are really worth it, and some things are less worth it. I personally feel like Tally is very worth it. So for those of you who are watching or who watch later, Tally is theoretically a form builder. So if you've heard of Typeform or Jotform or Google Forms, any of those, you will understand the concept of Tally. One of the massive benefits of Tally is they have an incredible free plan.
I'm on it.
So
it's amazing.
It's amazing. The features that you get with the free Tally plan are bar none better than any other SaaS. I mean, I think for probably 8 years, I paid $60 or $100 a month for Typeform.
Me too. Well,
even their yeah. Even their pro plan, I think I only pay $25 a month. I mean, it's an incredible tool for what you get. And for those of you who've been with me for some time, I know that you have heard me say, and will hear me say many times in my lifetime, if you're going to use a tool, maximize the capacity by which you use it, right? Because we have enough things in our tech stack, most people, to do what we need to do. Now, sometimes you need to bring in something else because it won't do that thing. But Tally is a perfect example of that. So what can you use Tally for? So Tally has something, even with the free plan, called Logic Jump, which I think is the secret weapon, because that makes it feel personalized, even when it's not. So do you know what Logic Jump is, Barbara? Does that concept? Yes. Okay.
I actually know that now. So yeah.
Okay.
Definitely.
So what that means for those of you who are watching is Logic Jump would be if you ask a multiple choice question, A, B, C, D is the answer. If they answer A, if user answers A, it might jump to question 8, right? So an example would be, did you have any issues with tech in this course? So maybe we're talking about the evaluation, the course evaluation, course feedback form. Did you have any tech issues? If they answer yes, we likely want to jump them to a question that's open-ended that asks, what did you have challenges with? Or how did you try and fix it? Or did you get the support you needed? If they answer no, we don't want to ask them that question, right? So that conditional logic allows us to jump them to different parts of the form based on their answers or their non-answers as well. So in my opinion, that's one of the best features of any form builder. And the fact that Tally allows you to do that on the free plan is phenomenal. So what could you use it for? It's interesting because I'm actually creating Tally templates that I can sell to you guys that you can pull into your Tally accounts, and it's already set up. You just customize it for you.
That's what I need. I need those first steps done for me so I can then change it and tweak it. Otherwise, it's just so daunting. I can't start from nothing.
Absolutely. It's staring at that blank screen. That's the challenge. Now, this is also, excuse me, where you can pull AI into this to help you a little bit, and other tools, LLMs or other AI tools you can pull in. So I'm just in my Tally account here, and I'm gonna share some of the things that I use it for. So one of the things that I use it for, which has been a game changer, is my pre-qualification form. So I work personally with clients doing projects, consults. I also am a teacher. I also sell digital products. So I do a lot of things. For those who want to work with me one-on-one, I used to have to hop on a discovery call with every single one of them. And during that discovery call, I would pre-qualify them. Are we a good fit? What are you looking for, right? Am I going to be the right one to be able to deliver that service? What's your budget? If you have a budget of $200, we're not going to be able to work together. And so I want to be able to use that pre-qualification form progress to see if we're a good fit initially. If we are a good fit, it automates them over to my discovery call. So for that pre-qualification form, I have 10 different endings that they might end up on based on what they're looking for, what their needs are, whether I think we're a good fit. And that's all automated. I don't have to spend any time on that anymore. Then I know that the ones that I do hop on a discovery call with, are pre-qualified, and we have a good chance of having a conversation that's going to be effective, and we're going to get to whatever we need to get to within that discovery call. So pre-qualifying for programs or services is a phenomenal way to do this. We just finished a client site a few weeks ago. All of her landing pages are on her primary website, which I think is WordPress or Wix or something like that. And they were not pre-qualifying. So it was they have lots of courses, and they needed to be able to pre-qualify the people before they hop on a call for the application program, or the program that requires an application to get into it. And so we were able to use Tally and embed it on those pages to save her 8-10 hours a month just in not having to hop on calls with people if they're not pre-qualified. So pre-qualification for courses, memberships, services, anything like that, phenomenal use case for. Let me see what else I use it for. Well, it's interesting. So I have a free, hang on a second here. I'm going to go over here and show you, because I think this is a very good use case, which is basically a lead magnet. Let me go over and share this with you. Let's do that one. Okay. Are you seeing my screen here, Barbara?
Yes, I can see it. Thank you.
Okay. So on my website, under Do It Yourself Hub, there's these free resources. Mm-hmm. And one of these free resources is the Buyer Persona Wizard, which is incredibly powerful, because if you don't know your buyer persona, you're not going to be able to get all your messaging right. It starts with the buyer persona. So if someone goes to use this buyer persona, this is actually a Tally form. And so I'm using it as a lead generation tool, because it's an interactive experience for them, right? Way better than just doing a cheat checklist, all of those things. And then they get the results emailed to them. So I get their email, they get to know who their buyer persona is. And so using it as a lead magnet is another phenomenal use case. Should I continue?
Yes, because that's just given me some ideas, definitely. And I really like the look of Tally as well, because it's, you can really customize it so brilliantly.
You can. Now, it's not as visual as something like Typeform, but I don't necessarily think that that's an important piece of it. Right. What's more important is the information that I'm gathering, and that it can be personal to that person through conditional logic or calculations or anything like that. I also know that Tally is one of the SaaS that I work with. They are phenomenal for listening to customers. So if you have requests, for instance, I was having a challenge with something, because we often work with clients' Tally forms. And there was something that was really challenging about the logging in process for client forms. And I submitted basically an email explaining the issue with a few screenshots and a Loom. And within 6 weeks, they had now implemented a solution for this for people like me or other agencies that work with clients who we want to set up Tally for. So they're phenomenally good at responding to their customers, which I think for, big check in my books as far as that's concerned. Let me see what else I use it for. Reflections. So if you've got a course that you want a student to be able to enter their reflections, and you want them to get an email with the results, that would be a use case that you could, there's lots of tools for this, but this is just one of the use cases for it. I have one. So for our services, we use Tally to gather the information that we need from them in order to start the project. So there's that's a heavy use case for us for that. I have a YouTube 30-day challenge, and I use the Tally forms within the challenge itself to do different things, help them with different things, help them clarify different things. So that's a great use case. I always think it's amazing because with Thinkific, we can basically use it within courses. So it doesn't have to be an external form builder. We just integrate it right into the course and we use it that way. And Rob Galvin, who has Super Power Ups, has a piece of code that you can use and drop in so that, you know how on Thinkific lessons, there's a complete and continue button on the bottom. We can actually, with this piece of code, remove that complete and continue button so that they don't get that complete and continue button until the tally form is done.
I love that.
So what we've started to do with clients when we're doing evaluation forms and feedback forms at the end of their courses, we don't want the student, right? Feedback is hard to get.
Yeah.
But if you have to do the feedback to finish the course, to get your certificate, you're getting feedback. Good, bad, or otherwise, you need that feedback as an educator to do better, build better courses, build more things that your people want. So I love the fact that we can drop it in now, and they can't complete the course until they finish the feedback form.
Thank you, Kim. That's really sparked some great ideas. I'm just going to go plug my computer, and I just realized I might just suddenly disappear. But thank you so much. That's really inspired me. Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so glad you joined me, Barbara. It was nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Take care. Bye.
So that was great. That was a fun discussion. I don't see any other questions in here on the chat. So I'll probably wind up the Expert Brew. Now, this is the first one we've ever done because the community is new. So I do hope that more people will join so that they can join in on these live streams with us, join me on screen, get some strategy, clarification, troubleshooting, whatever it is that you're looking for. Again, down in the description below is where you're going to find the link for the free community. No strings. I do AI experiments in there that are exclusive to the members. I do the Expert Brew, and it's usually just the members who get the link to join live. This one I did slightly different, again, because I'm publicly streaming this to YouTube. But anyways, it's super valuable. And basically what I'm trying to create is a calm space to learn AI in this e-learning business. If you're in the e-learning business or the online education space, then it's sort of this calm, quiet corner of the internet where you can learn at your own pace. And there's a lot of peer support for trying new things and experimenting and starting to use AI and automation a little more in your business. So if that sounds like something that would be interesting to you, I would love for you to join us. Anyways, it was so good to be able to have some time with Barbara today and be able to go over a few of those things. And I will see you again. Thank you so much for joining. Feel free to drop a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions about the Expert Brew, the community, or other topics that you would like to see me cover on my YouTube channel. Take care, everyone.